Welcome to Panevėžys, the city where industry and art blend in synergy. You will find Panevėžys in the north of the country, in almost halfway from the capital Vilnius to Riga in Latvia. And it takes 1.5 hours to get here from Vilnius. Panevėžys is the fifth largest city in Lithuania, and its population reaches around 88,000 in 2022. Panevėžys is widely known around Lithuania as an industrial city. There are lots of large companies and factories situated here. But at the same time, Panevėžys is known for its theaters, and some of the most famous Lithuanian actors are from here. What an interesting combination! But let's first start from the beginning. The city was established in the beginning of the 16th century by the order of the Grand Duke Alexander. Right at the city center there is a large sculpture of him by Panevėžys River Valley, which gave the name to the city. The river flows right through the city Panevėžys, the beginning pa meaning next to. The interesting thing about the river is that throughout the centuries it's changed its flow, and its old riverbed formed a small lake. It is now at the heart of the city and is a beautiful small park with a monument of Alexander standing next to it. It is a lovely place to relax and have a short walk during the day. Nearby is the old city center. It has some cute small streets, and there also are a few old buildings left as well. Officially, the oldest building in Panevėžys is this tiny cabin near the park mentioned before. Built in 1614, it was the Court Archives building. Then there is a cute church built in 1812. It is rare to see a stone church in Lithuania, and it is the first one that I saw in a city. Walking towards the center of the old town, we find the first Lithuanian bookstore. Juozas Masiulis bookstore was opened in 1905, and the business is handed down from generation to generation till this day. As someone who loves books, I just had to go in and buy something there. We also visited the city museum, which was one of the most interesting things to do in Panevėžys. It had a great interactive exhibition, starting from the prehistoric times, showing everything about the founding of the city and the interwar period, when most of the currently visible old town was built. There also is a quite scary exhibition of the Soviet occupation times, and there is a room for the rise of Panevėžys as an industrial city. The city was mostly known for its old TV screen factory, which is now closed. But there also are other large companies that are still very important to this day: wheat and fertilizer production, transport and electronics factories, glass makers, sugar factory, one of the largest breweries in Lithuania, and many more. Another thing very much related to the industry of Panevėžys is the historical narrow gauge railway. The 75-centimeter wide railway was built in the end of the 19th century and was functional of the whole 20th century. Panevėžys was the railway's hub, which I suppose allowed the city to expand its heavy industries. Today there still stands a cute wooden railway station and a train exhibition next to it. The old trains are sometimes used for holidays like Christmas and Halloween. While it is nice to have a look at the railway here in Panevėžys, I still think that the best spot to really get to know the narrow gauge railway is at an awesome train museum in Anykščiai, 1 hour away from Panevėžys. You can also see it in my video about Anykščiai district. Now let's go back to Panevėžys. The city has a lot of great public spaces to enjoy, and the main square is definitely one of them. Surrounded by cafes and restaurants, this is the place where city's big events happen. No surprise that the most famous Juozas Miltinis drama theater is located here as well. Panevėžys is known for art and theater, and Juozas Miltinis is the culprit of it all. He was one of the most famous actors and directors in Lithuania of the 20th century. And by managing his theater, he brought up a plethora of talented actors. Today Panevėžys has quite a lot of theaters considering the city size. There is another drama theater with a sculpture of Don Quixote outside and a musical theater near the church. Also there is a unique puppet wagon theater, which travels around the country during the summer. However, all those theaters conduct their shows only in Lithuanian language, so it would not be easy for foreigners to enjoy the shows. Beside the theaters, there also is Panevėžys Civic Arts Gallery, and in there the art speaks for itself. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to visit it as it was preparing for a new exhibition at the time. Also, when wandering around the old town streets, I found a peculiar place. There is an old ash tree fully covered with keys. This old tree survived a lot in its lifetime, multiple lightnings and fires. During an excavation near the tree one day, there was found a chest with 70 old keys inside. That's when a local artist came up with the idea to hang them on the tree. Now many people hang their keys here for luck and to get some of the tree's special energy. Further away from the city center, there are some lovely parks by the river. One of them is the city's culture and leisure park. There is plenty of space not just for nature walks, but also various sports activities. The park has probably the largest playground I have seen in Lithuania. My son was thrilled to spend time there. Another place to enjoy time outdoors is by the shores of the river lagoon. Although it is more of a summer place, in the warmer months there are boats for rent, a spot for wakeboarding and some beaches. Lastly, almost at the outskirts of the city on the way to Vilnius, there is one more thing that catches the eye: 2 old windmills. One of them is kept in a tip-top shape, although both don't have a purpose these days. They are just a proof that the flower production was one of the main industries for a long time in Panevėžys. Overall, I think that Panevėžys is not a touristic city, as there aren't many sites to visit. Many more are in the districts surrounding it. But the city itself seems to be more focused on creating a good environment for its people. It had a lot of recent infrastructure renovations, especially when it comes to the public spaces and bicycle paths. So in general, the city would be a nice place for a short stop, maybe for a lunch and a walk in the center, unless you would like to attend a theater play or a football match as well. See you in Panevėžys. Thanks for watching.